Oh, hi students. It's good to see you again. I hope you're all doing well. I've been drinking lots of coffee, so I have lots of energy right now. Thank you for all of you who were asking if I'm safe and if my girlfriend's safe. We're doing fine right now. We're healthy. You can say hi, Ms. Trask, if you want to. You want to say hi?
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi.
And our dog's fine too. Salvador, he's just sitting there. So I wanted to give a couple of announcements and start telling you a little bit about your assignments. So this will take about 5 minutes. I'm also going to post all the slides and everything in Google Classroom so you can find everything there. Oh, yes, sir, you have a question? Mr. Medina, are there any new announcements? That's a great question. Let's address that first. So here's what I've heard and what I know. Schools are still closed right now, but food is still available at all the other schools. So remember, you don't need your student ID. You don't even need to be there. If your parent wants to go and get the food, they can get that without you there. It's totally fine. I know I have heard some rumors. A couple students were asking me. They said they heard on the news that schools are going to be closed all year. The governor did suggest that that might be a possibility, but there's no official announcement right now. So as of now, we're still going back to school on April 13th until we get an official announcement that schools might be closed longer. So don't worry too much about that right now. Also, I wanted to let you know that teachers right now are spending this week deciding how they're going to teach your classes. Some teachers are going to have you complete packets. They'll send it to you, but probably only if you don't have access to internet. Other teachers might be asking you to complete some assignments online. Make sure that you're checking your remind messages, Google Classroom, Canvas, whatever your teachers use to communicate with you. Make sure you check in with them and talk to them about what they expect you to do this week. Yes, sir, you have another question? Mr. Medina, do we have to do all the work we are given? That's a good question guy. So here's what I've heard. The district has decided that all student work is optional. You will not lose points if you miss any of the assignments that are assigned to you over this period where you're at home and you're learning from home. However, as you are AVID students, remember you have pledged to be individually determined, and a month is a long time to sit around doing nothing. Especially for those of you who might be taking honors classes next year, you want to make sure that you aren't falling behind when you show up to school in a month from now or next year, and you might have to drop back into CP. Make sure you're staying up with your studies. So you can kind of imagine how it feels if you are in a sport or if you exercise. When you don't play the sport for a month and you try to go back to that, sometimes it's tough to get back into that transition. So it's kind of the same when you don't use your brain for the type of work that you normally do at school. Once you do go back to school, it's going to be a lot harder. So make sure you're doing as much work as possible, but remember your first priority is your parents or your family and your safety. Mr. Medina, what are we going to do for AVID then? Great question. So here's what I have planned. This week, you're going to start an independent study planner to organize your schedule and your time. I'm doing this also. My partner, Ms. Trash, she's doing that also. We have friends who are going to be doing the same thing, and the other freshman AVID class is going to be doing the same as well. Monday Motivators are going to be continued to be posted in Google Classroom, so you can look at those videos, talk to someone if you want. And Ms. Brown and I are going to regularly send you articles and activities. This is kind of what we have planned. We'll give you some activities on college research projects, some SAT prep activities so you can start getting ready for the SAT, study skills and professional skills support, and more things. We're still kind of planning what we're going to give to you over this break. So are you ready for your first assignment question, guy? Oh, he's got another question. What if something happens with my Wi-Fi or my family? Where can I get help? This is probably the most important question, so I'm glad you asked a question, guy. So your teachers are your primary point of contact. That means that if you have any type of challenge, like you don't have Wi-Fi, your Chromebook stops working, any other problems, please contact me or any of your other teachers and ask for help. We're going to send you that help as soon as we can, and we'll connect you to whoever you need for help. In the meantime, if you're worried about losing access to Wi-Fi in the near future, Spectrum is offering free Wi-Fi services for 60 days to students. You can go to the website in my slides today, or you could call the number 1-844-488-8395 and you can get free Wi-Fi service. Just tell them that you're a high school student. Now, let's start talking a little bit about what you're going to be doing for work this week for AVID. So this is the AVID Independent Study Planner. Remember, all the instructions are in Google Classroom for you to check there. So the purpose of this assignment is first to help you support your continued learning from home while schools are closed, help you maintain your physical and mental health while you're away from school, and help you set and achieve personal goals while you're staying home. Again, this is something that I'm doing for myself because I know if I just have a lot of time to do nothing and I'm not planning it, I can start going crazy. So first, let's read the instructions, and I'm going to post all these instructions in Google Classroom for you. It says, "We are living in unprecedented time. Staying home from school for a long period of time means we will have to start doing things differently. Staying home with your family for an extended period of time can present many challenges, and having the added pressure of doing schoolwork from home can add to those challenges. That is why this assignment is designed to help support you, your goals, and your health through these challenging times. For this assignment, you will need to draft a rough daily schedule for yourself. This isn't meant to be a strict schedule, but it will allow you to think about and plan time for your academics. Things come up in daily life that may derail your plan for the day, but it's always best to start with a plan so you know what needs to be made up later." So here are the things that you will need to do. You will need to make at least 3 academic goals for yourself each week. Make sure they're specific. How are you going to work on each subject? What specifically you're going to do? So instead of just saying, I'm going to work on bio, like, are you going to read this bio article and complete the lab? Make sure you're being as specific as possible. You need at least 3 academic goals per week, but you're more than welcome to have more if you want. Second, you will also need to make at least 3 personal goals. If you aren't sure what that means, personal goals are basically activities you want to do that day or throughout the week that will better yourself as a person, a family member, a friend, or community member. It could be something learning related, but it's usually something that's not assigned to you by a teacher. It's something that you just want to do on your own. And I'll show you some examples in a bit. Remember, you don't have to complete all of your goals every day or even every week. I understand there's a lot of things going on right now. Maybe your home lives are a little bit difficult. So think of your goals as a menu of activities for when you need something different to do or if you're feeling bored. You can just pull that up. If you're tired of playing Mario Kart or something like that, just pull up your list and say to yourself, okay, I'm going to work on this academic goal and then I'm going to work on this personal goal. You will also need to make an exercise plan for each day. Remember, because you're not at school and you're not playing sports and you're not in PE or in dance, there's a big temptation to just sit on the couch playing games, playing with our phones, watching TV, and that's something that we need to work on while we're at home. Make sure that you have a little bit of an exercise routine. We'll talk about that in a minute. You will need to write a daily reflection as well. It only has to be brief. 2 to 3 sentences is fine. Just examine your day and reflect on how you did on your goals. So I have in the instructions a link to the website where you can make a copy of the blank independent study planner. I'll show you that in a second. And I'm going to show you my weekly planner for this week as an example. I want to remind you also, you're not going to lose any points toward your grade for not creating a planner. However, as an AVID student, you have pledged to demonstrate individual determination. So by creating a plan and sticking to it, you're demonstrating your individual determination in the face of challenges. This month could be an experience that you choose to write about in your personal statement when you are applying for colleges. And having a plan also helps you maintain your mental and physical health during these difficult times. So here's my weekly schedule, and this is going to be in Google Classroom as well. You can take a look and see. So first on the left side, I'll just point out the different parts. On the left side, I have my daily schedule with what I'm going to do each hour. That one, don't worry too much about it this week because you're probably going to change it next week once you get used to your routine. The top row also, you'll see I have 10 academic goals that I made for myself. Remember, you only need 3 academic goals, but you can do as many as 10 if you want. Down here, I have my 10 personal goals. Remember, you only need 3. And down here, I have my exercise plan for every day. On Monday, I want to run to Canyon Park. On Tuesday, I want to run to the beach and back. On Wednesday, I want to ride my bike around Newport Bay. Now, here's some tips. Since I'm doing this, I have a couple of tips for you and suggestions to make it easier. First, I decided to write my goals in a different color because it's easier for me to read that way. And as I complete goals, I'm highlighting them in yellow so that next week when I make a copy of this, I can delete the ones that I've highlighted and I can add in new goals that I have for myself. My goal is to just get as many as I can done, but I'm not going to feel bad if I don't finish all of my goals every week because I can still use those goals for the following week. As I go through my week, I'm going to notice how I need to change my schedule. I'm already realizing that I'm waking up earlier than I thought I was going to, and I don't want to run first. I want to read first. So I'm already thinking about how I'm going to change my schedule for next week. And remember, you don't need to complete every single goal. Try to complete a few per week. You can always continue with the same goals next week. So in the slides, this is what your blank independent study planner is going to look like. You can find these, make a copy, just type in the dates of this week, the schedule that you want to have, your 3 to 10 academic goals, 3 to 10 personal goals, an exercise plan for each day. And remember, at the end of each day or in the morning after each day, you can write a 2 to 3 sentence daily reflection. Remember, you can look at my example. So remember, you can always look at my planner as an example, and I also encourage you to share your planners with each other to get ideas. I'll put a place in Google Classroom for us to post our planners so that we can all look at what we're all doing and get ideas from each other. If you have a printer, you might want to print out your planner. This is something I'm probably going to do next week, just to put it up by my calendar so I can check it as I'm walking by instead of having to pull up my computer every time I want to look at it. And if you have Chromebook or Wi-Fi issues, you can also create your own planner in a notebook or on a piece of paper. Just make sure you have a daily schedule, academic goals, personal goals, exercise plan, and daily reflection. As long as you have those things, then it should work fine. Again, you can always email me with any questions you have or send me a remind message. I'll do my best to get back to you within a day. Tomorrow I'm going to have a Zoom meeting with all of you so you can ask me questions. I'll send that out with a remind with the time and the code to get into the meeting so that we can talk to each other face to face, even though it's over a computer, and we can answer any questions you have. In the slides today, I also have additional resources which you can look at your own. It's the meals program, plus the information on how to get free Wi-Fi. Again, I hope that you're all doing really well, and I'm going to reach out to you again later today. Make sure that you've taken the home life survey on Google Classroom, and if you can, and you have phone numbers of some of your classmates, you might want to text them. Just check in with them and see how they're doing today. Don't forget to cough into your elbows, wash your hands a lot, stay away from crowded places. Good luck, everyone. I'll talk to you later.